Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Competitive Corner. Today we're going to be discussing my PDL team that I drafted. We just finished drafting up, and I wanted to explain to you guys my process and why I chose certain things. As you see on your screen right now, this is the new logo for the New York Hunters. We used to be the New York Gengar, but I decided to change because look at how awesome this picture is. So the picture was done by, I need to pull up the name because I don't really know how to pronounce it, Yushin. Definitely check her out. She will be in the description below. And then the logo itself was finished up by myself. So I'm going to take this off camera and we're going to get right into it. So for my first round pick, I picked Mega Mawile. I won last season, so I got first pick, and that's why I picked Mega Mawile. I had an option between Kangaskhan and Mawile, and I figured Mega Mawile was the best. It has the highest attack, it has the best typing, and it has the most diverse move pool. So long story short, Mega Mawile was that pick. So moving on, I wanted a fire type, so I was debating between getting Mega Camerupt or Rotom Heat, or I don't even know if I had another choice, because last season I wanted Mega Camerupt, but I didn't get it, and this season I was kind of deciding, you know, I had two Megas last season for a while, and I ended up not using the second one, and I switched it a bunch of times. I started with Zard X, and then I switched to Heracross, and I never used them, and the reason being is Mega Mawile is such a good Mega that you really don't need to use any other Megas. So I ended up going for Rotom Heat because not only does it have an immunity to ground and a resistance to fire, which is very helpful in helping Mega Mawile, but we also saw things drafted such as Mega Metagross and Mega Gardevoir and Mega Salamence and Talonflame and just so many things that Rotom Heat is really good at stopping. So Rotom Heat comes in, Rotom Heat cleans up, and that's really good. So moving on, I got Cresselia! Third round, actually. I didn't actually draft Cresselia. What happened is Cresselia was drafted first turn by Juancito Marvel. You may know him. I speak about him a lot. And I drafted Clefable, but I decided to see if I can get Cresselia out of him, and he wanted Clefable. So that's what happened. I got Cresselia, and I'm really stoked about it. Cresselia is one of the best Trick Room setters in the game, and actually, out of my top four, top four Trick Room setters, I got 3 of them for this game, so I'm pretty pumped. We're gonna go full Trick Room. I'm not even hiding it. It's very obvious, and I don't care. We're gonna do it. So Cresselia is one of the best. It has a very good typing, has very good ability, has a very good move pool, and I'm very excited to have her on my team. So moving on, I decided to grab Porygon 2. The reason I grabbed Porygon 2 is because while it is obvious I'm going for Trick Room, I didn't want people stealing my Trick Room setters. I pretty much can guarantee that no one was going to take Aromatisse, mainly because unless you're running pure Trick Room, Aromatisse does not help you in the least bit. It has some utility, but it's really good at helping out Trick Room. So I was debating between Porygon 2 and Dusclops, but with Dusclops doesn't form as nice of a core with Cresselia as Porygon 2 does, because they're both weak to the same things pretty much. So I ended up going for Porygon 2, not only because it forms a better core with Cresselia, but also because you can do some pretty interesting things with Porygon 2. Not only does it get, like, you know, Gravity and Mirror Coat, but it also gets the abilities Analytic and Download, which can make it a fairly offensive Pokemon. You can't go as offensive as, like, Porygon Z, but with 105 base special attack, it's actually not too bad, and with Eviolite, it really tanks hits still. So that's something to consider, and that's something that I definitely consider, because it also has a really phenomenal special move pool. So that's why I went for Porygon 2. Now, we're rounding out to round 5, and luck to me, because everyone else wanted something else, I was considering Conkeldurr, but no one took Hariyama. So I'm like, Hariyama is the best supportive Trick Room abuser in the game, in my opinion. Because not only does it get Fake Out, not only does it get things like Wide Guard and Feint, but the turn where you Fake Out and get Trick Room up, The next turn, usually, you know, like say you have a Meowstic or something, you can't really threaten the team. But Hariyama puts you in a place where you fake out their lead, get the Trick Room up, and now you're in a place where helping hand onto Hariyama, you're taking KOs now. And that's why I went... Oh, wow, my voice just completely cracked. And I recorded this already. I recorded this already, and I forgot to actually hit record. So my voice... I was pretty excited in that video, so my voice is a little like... You know. But I'm pretty excited to get Hariyama because he is one of my favorite fighting types. He's really, really bulky. He's very easy to mold into countering a team. You know, I saw a Charizard Y, and I know Hariyama's very good at taking out Charizard Y. Hariyama's very good at taking out a lot of things. There's not a lot of things that can one-shot a Hariyama. Hell, even Talonflame can't even one-shot Hariyama. So it's a very, very, very good Pokemon to get. Moving on, round 6 and 7 I drafted at the same time. So I ended up drafting Golurk first, and it seems weird. It seems weird for round 6, because usually you want to leave the things that people won't really pick until the last rounds. I ended up actually missing out on a Kecleon, which I was actually going to go for. But I ended up not going for Kecleon, as obviously as you can tell. But I went for Golurk because Golurk, while pretty much only physical, he can do very many things. He's got a very, very good move pool, very good stabs, and overall not uber bulky, but bulky enough to get what I need to get done. So I went for Golurk. I like Golurk. I think it's a good Pokemon. It just it's not used as much as it should be. Alright, and then, so right after that, I picked Feraligatr. Now, Feraligatr seems weird, but I needed a water type, and I think, you know, because there were a few fire types going on, you know, things like, not just fire types, I mean, but like, there's like Talonflame going on, there was a Terrakion, there was obviously the Charizard, both Charizards actually got drafted, you know, there's a Heatran, there's a lot of things that I needed a water type for. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that Feraligatr actually is a really good, solid choice for this league. Remember, you know, this league, you see everyone's teams. Alright, you see everyone's teams and their Pokemon. So this is all about mastering the countering. You have to counter their teams as best as you can. You basically want to try and win at Team Preview, pretty much. So Feraligatr is good in the sense that it can go mixed, it can go physical, it can go special, it can do a lot of different things if it really wanted to. And that's kind of why I chose it, because it's reminiscent of the Rampardos I used, where it hits hard from both sides, it's really flexible in what you want it to do. So that's why I chose Feraligatr. And you know, on top of that, the added bonus of having a really good bulk to it. It can take hits pretty well. I know it's survived Rotom Wash's Thunderbolts, Thundurus's Thunderbolts, not Therian, but Incarnate, so not as impressive, but still pretty impressive. So overall, he's just a really solid choice. Moving on, I wanted to complete my Trick Room core with Aromatisse. There was no other option. I was going for Aromatisse because Aromatisse is one of the best supports in the game. Very, 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 very good at keeping teammates alive and strong, really, with Helping Hand and, you know, screens and stuff like that. And its abilities are really helpful. You know, if I have a burnt Golurk, for example, I'm going to want to heal that with either Aromatherapy or Healer. You know, Golurk's not very good when it's burnt. So it's definitely an important thing for me to have. So moving on, I decided I needed a dragon. I went Dragonite. My choices were between Dragonite and Goodra. Surprisingly, neither of them had been taken. This is round 9, guys. So it was very, very, very surprising. But it was hard deciding. You know, Goodra is really, really bulky, especially. There's not a single move in this game that's special attack that I think can take out Gudra. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true, especially if you have Assault Vest. But at the same time, the other stats were a little lacking. Dragonite actually is better in every stat but special defense, and its special defense is base 100, so it's really not that bad, especially if you want to consider Assault Vest, which is a good possibility on Dragonite. So overall, I figured Dragonite was the best. He has the most potential to go mixed. Like, just overall, he has the best potential to counter team. He has the best flexibility. The flexibility is really the word that I'm looking for. I like flexible Pokemon in this game because if you have a flexible Pokemon, you have a good chance of winning. It's pretty much the story, the end-all story of that. So yeah, I mean, with Multiscale and Inner Focus, he's really good at helping the team out. Weakness Policy, he's probably one of the best weakness policy users in the game. The other one is Aegislash. And yeah, so finally I was thinking, you know, there were a few types that I didn't have. I didn't have a Dark type. I really wanted Tyranitar. I didn't have a Rock type. I didn't have, like I said, I really wanted Tyranitar. I didn't have a Grass type. I'm trying to think what else I didn't have. I didn't have a... I'm looking at it now. I don't see if I'm missing out anything. I didn't have a Poison type, but that's not really too important. I pretty much was just missing those three, and obviously I can't go those three types, so I had to settle. And I settled on Cacturne. Cacturne's interesting. It's not as bulky as, you know, I'm used to. 70, 60, 60 is not a good spread for bulk, but it has 115 in both offenses and a move pool to back those up. Also, it has, you know, some good support moves, most notably Spiky Shield and Destiny Bond. Those are really cool. Really cool. It also has some boosting moves that I'm not going to reveal, even though you can easily look it up. But overall, I really liked Cacturne. It was a good idea. You know, immunity to sand and immunity to water is a really good option, especially since, you know, there's a T-Tar roaming around. Pretty sure there's a Hippowdon somewhere. Someone somewhere drafted Hippowdon, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty damn sure I saw someone draft Hippowdon. Here, let me do control find. Yeah, someone did draft. Someone drafted Hippowdon and Excadrill, so I figured Cacturne would be probably the best option for me. And that's the team. So I really do appreciate you guys watching. Tell me what you think about this logo. I'm really happy about it. It looks stupendous. Give a shout out to Kuro. Oh my god, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. Kuroryushin. I don't know. It's really hard. The link will be in the description below. I'm really bad at names. But yeah, shout out to her if you like that. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace.